Renault here, and today I'd like to suggest you read Doombreaker. It's a manhwa about the last human standing named Zephyr, fighting against evil entities in a world abandoned by the holy gods. Zephyr would meet his end against the god of destruction, Tartarus, but he awoke unexpectedly, given an opportunity by the same gods who abandoned his world because they found his plight entertaining. Zephyr was sent 10 years in the past, back when he had nothing. And even though he curses the gods, he vows to use the opportunity to get his revenge, not only for humanity, but for himself against all that have wronged him. Zephyr will undertake a heavy responsibility and do all he can to prepare humanity for what's to come. So, let's get to it. Surprisingly, this story is an original idea from the author, Blue Deep, who also falls under the name Cheongdam. The manga currently has 101 chapters over 2 seasons with 1 side story chapter. Doombreaker is an action manhwa with slight romance in the latter half of the story, but the main focus is the action with rallying of allies plus fights against major enemies by Zephyr and others. The art style and how it is used to present the powers of the characters are a large part of why it's a great read, but it isn't a cover-up for a bad story. Doombreaker has a great pace and the story develops properly, allowing readers to understand and build a connection with the characters. The characters are more mature and the themes aren't simple. So if you like more maturity in your stories and harsher action, this is a must read. So, let's dive into it a bit. Our main character is Zephyr, who survived for over a year after humanity was wiped out. And in his final battle against the god of destruction Tartarus, before he met his end, he became the first individual to ever injure him, leading to the demon god's unrelenting rage. Zephyr is an individual who does not yield in the face of any challenge, whether it be humans, demons, or even the gods themselves. And we see this at the very start when Tartarus mentioned recruiting Zephyr into his army, and instead of accepting, he flicked them off and utilized a self-destruction spell to injure the god of destruction. Zephyr is a calm individual, but is capable of being crazy in his approaches in battle due to his unrelenting desire to come out on top, but in the end, it helps his allies, with many viewing him as honorable, but his closest allies look at him to be on the crazier side. Zephyr is selfless towards his allies and will do whatever he can to help them, but he can be indifferent to others if it means helping his people. But at the end of it all, Zephyr wants humanity to survive and beat back the gods who abandoned them. For the side characters, we have a solid amount, but there are a few key figures. Ned Strider is the first mentor and main ally of Zephyr, who was a part of the worshippers of Tartarus, until he was betrayed and lost his life defending Zephyr in the past timeline. In the current timeline, Zephyr is able to get to Ned before the betrayal, and Ned joins him in his task to save humanity. Ned is loyal and patient with his allies, and as a master fighter, taught Zephyr a lot that helped him become the strongest human in the past, and even stronger in the current timeline. Ned is merciless towards all enemies and does not waste time. He is serious, but with Zephyr, we see him open up more as he learns to trust him after finding out the truths of the past. Altair Justina Cain is the first princess of the Kingdom of Cain on the continent of Aslan, who in the past timeline was one of Zephyr's greatest allies who sacrificed her life to save him and is one of his main motivations for going back to the past. Altair is an elegant and well-mannered woman due to her status as a princess and a strong magician who practices medium magic, aka star magic in this world. While she may be a princess, she has a fierce side that she utilizes to accomplish her goals and help with everything she can for her allies. The main villain of the story are the gods and demons, but the physical embodiment we see Zephyr interact with is the angel Mercedes. Mercedes does not care about the fate of humanity as she only cares about serving the gods, and the gods of this world seek entertainment from Zephyr and work either with him or against him depending on their motivations. The demons of the world seek only control and the destruction of humanity. So either way, both of them are villains, and Zephyr's going to do what he needs to do to overcome them. This story develops through the eyes of Zephyr as the last human who was sent back by the gods for entertainment, but he plans to use this opportunity to grow stronger and strike back at all of his enemies. Zephyr wants to locate and empower his past allies in order to build the relationships again and recruit new allies to a centralized alliance in order to prepare humanity for what's to come in the future. We as readers get to witness how they interact with Zephyr when told the truth or being approached by an individual who knows them but without the same information on Zephyr. The world develops through the major historical battles of the past timeline and the unexpected battles caused by the changes made by Zephyr and the reactions of allies and enemies alike. The gods and demons make a significant difference in these battles as they can cause additional modifiers to the fights in order to make it harder for humanity. Doombreaker is a great read for me due to the resentment Zephyr has for the gods upon realizing the truth of his existence and their drive. Zephyr isn't a character who simply joins the gods and follows their every rule. He wants to make a change for the greater good of humanity and fight back against the higher entities, and that's something I can get behind because I enjoy characters who don't want to be a pushover and can think for themselves. The art style is some of the best I've seen, and just like most of the stories I read, I have screenshots upon screenshots in my photo gallery. Doombreaker is one of my favorites and was a great read, and I'm looking forward to its return for the next season. We're at the end of the video, and I'd like to thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed reading this one as much as I have. If you have any suggestions yourself, please put them in the comments, and I'll give them a read if I haven't already. Thank you once again, and safe travels.